Hello everyone, my name is Pukar Dhital. I'm an English instructor and today we're covering Grade 5 English. We'll be going through the reading comprehension of the chapter Describing Time. So let's begin the class. So begin this chapter Describing Time. Describing time. So how do we describe time? How do we say or how do we talk about time? So this chapter is all about words or phrases or sentences, right, which we use to describe time. So let's begin with this ask and answer exercise. Just we read it aloud. So in the classroom, one of you can take the role of A and the next person can take the role of B, and then you can keep on swapping it, all right? And then the next person can take the role of A and the next student can take the role of B, and in this way the whole class can participate. So it says A, when did you come? Yesterday. What time? At 10. When is your terminal exam? Next month. When will it finish? In a week. Now look at this. The whole conversation is talking about time. Okay. In the first conversation, it talked about like yesterday and the time, like at 10. Okay. Again, now here it's talking about month and week, and their time too. Let's keep moving. Where did you go for holiday? To Chitwan. How long did you stay? For a month. And keep on changing your turns. All right. Make sure many students are involved as you speak, taking the character of A or B. So again, A. When are you arriving? On Saturday. What time? At 5 in the evening. So see, very simple exercise. You can read aloud and take turns as you speak. Alright, and you'll do great. I'm sure you'll read it great. Now, let's continue. Here's a short poem. Let's chant this poem. Chant. On Sunday, I had a dream. On Monday, I went to a stream. On Tuesday, there was a great flood. On Wednesday, I saw pond of blood. On Thursday, I cleaned all of them. On Friday, I came home. On Saturday, I woke up and had a big stream. So very simple poem. Again, you can read it aloud. All right. So here it just says, on Sunday, I had a dream. On Monday, I went to a stream. On Tuesday, there was a great flood. On Wednesday, I saw a pond of blood. On Thursday, I cleaned all of them. On Friday, I came home. On Saturday, I woke up and had a big scream. So it's all about the dream which the narrator rather, had seen on Sunday. Okay, so it says, find any three pairs of rhyming words. So what is rhyming words? Okay, first I'm going to tell you what are rhyming words. When I say rhyming words, what do you understand? So what are rhyming words? Rhyming words, well, to put it simply, they rhyme, but in what way do they rhyme? So if I write here sun, and if I write here gun, you see in a way their pronunciation is rhyming. Sun, gun, you see? Similarly, if I say money, honey, look at the way these words rhyme. Money, honey. And red, bed. Again, look at these words. The way the pronunciation rhymes, as if they are similar words, but yet, of course, they are different. All right? Red, bed. The similarity in the pronunciation, especially at the end, all right, makes the word rhyme. So these are rhyming words. So it says, find any three pairs of rhyming words. So from this particular chant, from this particular poem, you just find out any three rhyming words. So to begin with, just look at this first one. So I wanted to give a proper answer to it. So maybe we can write down I and begin from any three pairs of rhyming words. From where? From the chant R. And now you start writing the words down. Like, for instance, look at this. Dream, stream. See, they do rhyme. And I'm sure you're clever enough to get the remaining two. Okay, and as you go here, they are, and write, for instance, A. Okay, let's continue it in the next slide. And as you continue it here, you just write down A, dream, stream. Dream, stream. Now B and C is your call. Okay, and let's move forward. Hey, look at the second question here. Write the past verbs from the chants. So whatever verbs are in past, we have to write that down. So be it even the auxiliary verb or the supporting verb here in this case. Okay. So again, you follow the same rule. Like for instance, you go for the past verbs from the chant are. The past verbs from the chant are. As you write the answer, and what are the past verbs here? So I'm going to mark it with red. See, had. Also a past verb. Went, past verb. Okay. These are auxiliaries. And was. And of course, here you go. See, saw. See? Cleaned. I came, I woke, and had is already done. So these are the past verbs from this particular chant. Okay, let's move further. Now you can have moving forward. You can have just a very simple game which you can play it in the classroom, mind you. And what you can do in that game is a teacher first of all has to cut all the letters. All right, all the letters of the days. Days, having said days from Sunday to Saturday, you cut whatever letters are used in all these days from Sunday to Saturday. You cut all the letters, all right, separately, of course. You can use a piece of paper there or chart paper. So there you have all the letters there, and maybe you can make a flashcard out of it, and then you can put it somewhere. And finally, you just call a student, and you can divide the group, like group A, group B, group C, or if you have a house, you can have the house division as well. Now, once that's done, what you can do is you can just call the students and tell them, okay, then give them a day, like for instance Sunday. And the students, what they would do is they'd pick up the flashcard like this. Let's say here is, of course, let's say here's S, and in the other card there is, this has to be displayed, by the way, okay? Displayed to the students and kept somewhere. Here is SU. So the students, what they do is from all these flashcards with all these different letters or word, okay, and you'll have a timer there as well, and see who does it fastest, all right? And of course, then you can reward the house or reward the group later on. So just like you are assembling the words together to form the day, okay? So this you can do in the classroom as part of the activity, okay? So let's continue. Now, look at the picture and say, where is the girl going? Now, it does not have to be related. It does not have to be related to the story. It doesn't have to be related to the story that follows. I'm going to read a story in a while. It doesn't have to be related to the story that follows. Just write down in the piece of paper, what is the girl doing? In fact, I suggest you to do this work in A4 size paper. My God. Now, I suggest you to do in A4 size paper, just write down what you see here. Okay, simple as it. Just write down what you see here. Now, if I observe the picture, I can see trees here. Maybe that's a jungle. I can see bushes here. It's a pasture, a green field, a meadow. And oh my God, the girl has so much food in her basket. There's biscuit. I think that's cheese or bread, or maybe that's milk or honey, or, you know, she's maybe preparing for a picnic. And on the distance, I see a wolf who is peeping through these woods. So just write down whatever you see here in the picture. You're free to write. Create a wonderful story looking at this picture, and at the same time, answer this. Where is the girl going? Just don't answer this. Write it in paragraph, okay? Well, in the picture, I can see green trees, and there are many trees. And from the woods or from the jungle, I can see a wolf who's looking at the girl, and the girl is heading somewhere, and I think the girl is heading somewhere. See, that way you are going to answer number 1 as well. Will the wolf kill her? Again, include that in your paragraph, whether the wolf is going to kill her. Now, write it in a paragraph form, not like you're answering this question one by one, okay? Well, I think the way the wolf is looking at her, I don't think the wolf is going to kill her, but I think that rather the wolf is interested in the food she's carrying, and soon she will befriend the wolf, just like human beings befriend a dog. Okay, so that's how it can be done. All right, so it's all about your imagination, and remember, you are free to think. Let's move forward. Little Red Riding Hood. Now, this is the story we're about to read. Little Red Riding Hood was a kind little girl. People gave her the name because of the red cape and hood she always wore. One day, she set off to visit her grandmother. She was ill and lived on the other side of the jungle. On the way, she met a wolf who was wicked. "Where are you going?" he asked Red Riding Hood. So she meets a wolf on the way, and she's heading to meet her ill grandmother. "To see my sick granny," she replied. "I'm taking her medicine and some good food." The wicked wolf made a plan to eat both of them. He took a shortcut to reach the grandmother's home before Red Riding Hood. "Knock, knock," he rapped on the door. "Who's that?" called a voice from inside. "It's a Red Riding Hood, grandmother," said the wolf, making his voice as sweet as that of Riding Hood. So see, the wicked wolf plans to eat both of them, and he goes there before Red Riding Hood. And he, in a very sweet voice, he tries to convince her grandmother to open the door. Grandma sensed there was something wrong. She hid herself where no one could find her. So when the wolf came in, he saw nobody in the house. I'll wait for Red Riding Hood, he thought, and got into bed, covering his body with the blanket. No wonder Red Riding Hood found her grandmother different. Oh, Grandma, what big teeth you have, she said. Of course, then, the wicked wolf pretends as if it's sleeping on the bed, putting on the blanket. And of course, when Red Riding Hood, when she arrives, she looks at grandmother and says, "Oh, Grandma, what big teeth you have," she said. That's more like a satire, see? "All the better to eat with you," roared the wolf and jumped over her. So the wolf says, "Hey, all good to eat you." Alright, and roared the wolf and jumped over her. "Help, help, the wolf is going to get me," she cried. All at once her grandmother came out of her hiding and gave a big blow on the wolf's head with a rolling pin. The blow was so heavy on the wolf that he had no strength to fight back, so he ran away as far as he could into the forest. So with her rolling pin, she gave one big blow on the wolf's head, and it hurt the wolf so bad that it was no condition to fight, and it ran away. "Here's this medicine for you," the girl said. After the medicine, they laid the dining table ready to eat all the goodies in Red Riding Hood's basket. And of course, then they set their table and then they planned to eat the good food that little Red Riding Hood was carrying. Okay, a very simple story. Now, let's move further. Now, before we begin, I'm going to teach you a vocabulary, how to improve your vocabulary. Okay, very important, but yet very simple at the same time. So what we do here is we just have a particular format. Now, of course, as I read the passage, you must have come across many words whose meaning you do not know. So what we do is we find the meaning of those words in a way that we will not forget it ever again. Like, for instance, word. Okay, so for example, let me wicked. So the word is wicked. Now what you need is a dictionary to do this particular exercise, and you're doing it on your own. It's not in the book, by the way. You're doing it on your own, and of course this is undoubtedly help you improve your vocabulary word. Now, as I type wicked there, so what we do now is, of course, make sure you have a dictionary next to you. Okay, so when you have a dictionary, this is very easy thing to do. So there's a dictionary, word is wicked, and then you write down the meaning of the wicked. All right, word meaning, and the dictionary defines wicked as morally bad in principle or practice. Morally bad in principle or practice. And then you go for its part of speech. And what is part of speech? All right, it could be adverb, adjective, or noun, or a verb. Okay, and this you can always find it in the dictionary. All right, sometimes it's usually written in short form or in abbreviation, like A is A for adjective, V for verb, N for noun, ADV for adverb. So in this case, however, this wicked is adjective. Remember, it's always in the dictionary. Okay, so part of speech is adjective. And now what we write is sentence from the book. Sentence from the book. Now we are going to write down in what way is the word wicked used in the passage. So you go back to the passage where the word wicked, all right, where the word wicked is, or when I read that passage, find out where the word wicked was, and finally you'll come across that on the second paragraph. It's used as on the way she met a wolf who was wicked. See, we copy the sentence as it is where the word wicked is used, and this is from the book itself. On the way she met a wolf who was wicked. And finally you write down my sentence. Now in my sentence you make a sentence of your own. Now of course now you know the word, you know its meaning, you even know it's part of speech, and you also know how the word wicked is used in the book. On the way she met a wolf who was wicked. Now how are you going to make a sentence of your own? Wicked. Let's give it. Now you can make a sentence of your own. For now, to help you out, I'm going to make a sentence of my own. Okay, we should not trust a wicked person. We should not trust a wicked person. So see, this is how the whole vocabulary word is done. This is word number 1. And the rest you can do it. All right, so all the words whose meaning you do not know, you follow the same process and you will build up your vocabulary skills. This you can certainly do. Let's continue. Look at this answer now. Why was the girl called Red Riding Hood? Why did she go to her grandmother? All right, so to answer this question, you go to the first paragraph. All right, so I'm going to answer 1. Answer, all right, the girl was called Red Riding Hood because of the red cape and hood she always wore. Always wore. See? Simple answer. Why was the girl called Red Riding Hood? The girl was called The girl was called Red Riding Hood because of the red cape and hood she always wore. Again, of course, if you go to the number 2, why did she go to grandmother? How are you going to begin it? See, there's did here, simple past. So when you start the answer, she go changes to take it to simple past. She went to her grandmother. And of course, the answer, you will get it in the first paragraph itself. Okay, let's move forward. You can do it in the classroom itself. Look at this. Fill in the gaps with the words given in the boxes. So here, having said boxes, it means set off, shortcut, rep, blow, and rolling pin. I did not make chapati because I did not see the, guess what? Rolling pin. R-O-L-L. Now, I know now you know what is rolling pin. Do you make rotis at home? What do you roll rotis with? Okay. So here in this case, I did not make chapati because I did not see rolling pin. The police gave a blow. Okay. So number 2 would be blow. See, interesting, isn't it? Now, we early, so we reached on time. You figure it out. We can do it in the classroom. A boy rapped on the table while the teacher was writing on the board. See, to punch something very hard, that's wrapped. It was already late, so we took a, I'm sure you can do it fairly well, right? So you can do it right in the classroom. Right? True or false? Very simple. Red Riding Hood and a grandma lived together. Is that true? No, it's false. See, she was in fact going somewhere on the other side of the jungle to meet her grandma or grandmother. So that's false. So I know you can do 2, 3, and 4. And you can do it right in the classroom. Okay, let's move forward now. All right, now here we are going to write short answers. Number 1, where did the little girl's granny live? Now when you answer it, always take care of the auxiliary verb when you answer it, like did. It's simple past. Okay, so remember, the usually in most cases answer begins from the question itself. That's why the little girl's granny. Now because the question is asked in simple past, make sure to take the answer in the simple past. That's why lived changes to with past participle lived. Why? Because the question is asked in simple past. Here's the relation why we change this lived to lived. Okay, so the little girl's granny lived on the other side of the jungle. The little girl's granny lived on the other side of the jungle. Okay, as simple as this. Now in a similar manner, it's very simple. I'm sure you can do the rest of the questions, and you do this as your homework. Okay, now why did the wolf take a shortcut? Why did the wolf take a short? Why did the wolf take a shortcut? Now remember that. All right, take, here's again simple past. Took. The wolf took a shortcut because you'll get the answer from the passage. You'll have to read the passage to get the answer. Number 3, what did Red Riding Hood take to her granny? What did Red Riding Hood take to her granny? Again, the answer begins from the question. Red Riding Hood, take changes to took again because here is simple past. Took. All right, Red Riding Hood took. You have to figure it out. What did she take to her granny? And finally, took maybe food. All right, get it from the passes. And finally, Red Riding Hood took to her granny. Okay, and let's continue further. Number 4, why did the wolf run away? The wolf ran away. Again, his did ran away because he got a big blow on his head with the rolling pin. That's right, and because of the pain, he ran away. Number 5, how did Granny know there was something? How did Granny know there was something? Now, when you write the answer, Granny, again, is did. No changes to knew. There was something wrong. Now, this is more like an assumption. Your assumption here, right? Granny knew there was something wrong. So I'm going to write my... No, it'll be great to write your own assumption here. Granny knew there was something wrong. Granny knew there was something wrong because the wolf sounded sweeter than Red Riding, right? So this is how you can do, and you can do the rest as your homework as well. Now let's move further. Now this is just okay. So I think, okay, this simple conversation here, reenact. Now the teacher, one of you can take the role of teacher and the other students can take the role of Rafika, and then you take turns. All right, after this is done, again the next two students will take the role of teacher and Rafika, and this you can do it, and this goes on. All right, so at least 6 of you gets involved here, 2, 4, 6, and if you can repeat the conversation if you want to, of course. It's a very simple reenact. Teacher, how many people were there in class yesterday? Rafika, very unique name, right? There were 21, madam. Her teacher, but the attendance shows only 20. Rafika, you're right, madam, but there were 21 in class, madam. Teacher, what do you mean, Rafika? Are you mad? Rafika, one of us is surely mad, madam. When did you stop counting yourself a person? So see, at the end it turns out to be rather humorous. So including teacher, the student was right, it's 21, but only students, there were 20. See, a rather funny conversation here. Now, here is a wonderful, I'm not a very good artist though, so here you have a wonderful picture, let's assume, of a girl. Okay, right now I'm going to go a very simple figure. Forgive my painting here. All right, so here you go. She's a wonderful girl, right? So she might have a long hair as a girl. See? So here you go. So let's say, for example, that her name is Numa Serpa. Look at the example. All right, name Numa Serpa, date of birth October 6, 1990. Place of birth Marfa Mustang. Education SLC. Favorite person mother. Favorite singer Tara Devi, a beautiful singer of course. Hobby reading and music, and her aim is social worker. Again, I forgive for my figure, all right? Sorry, I apologize for my figure here, but just understand that here's a beautiful picture, all right? You can paste a picture here when it comes to writing biography, in fact. So see, we're writing a biography about Numa Serpa. So see, when you write a biography about something, you're just explaining her hobbies, what she do, what does she do, and, her aim, perhaps, the very significant or important contributions that she had made. And of course, there's a thing called autobiography. Autobiography is when you write about yourself. Okay, so let's move further. Here, look at it. The girl in the photograph, well, like I said, I apologize for my horrible drawing there. The girl in the photograph is Numa Serpa. Now, these things are arranged properly, see? She was born on the 6th of October, 1990. She was born at Marfa in Mustang. She completed her SLC only last year. The person she likes most is her mother. Her favorite singer is Tara Devi. She likes reading books and listening to music. Her only aim in life is to be a social worker. Now, this is how the whole information has been turned into a wonderful paragraph. In fact, it turned out to be a short biography. There you go, okay? Now, your homework would be, now check this out, 17. Now, write similar paragraph on the basis of the following. Now, you have the following data about Razia, okay? Now, you have to write a similar paragraph like the one I read earlier about Razia, all right? So, write this is again a biography. Okay, this is again a biography. So her name is Razia, date of birth is January 15, 1924. Oh, she was born way earlier. Place of birth is Panitanki, Biratnagar. Education is B.Ed. Favorite person is Mother Teresa. Hobby is writing poems. And aim is educate the poor. A wonderful aim, in fact. And you can write a biography about this particular person called Razia. In your biography, it will be great. You can, if you can paste any picture next to Razia, assuming that she is Razia, of course. This you can certainly do. Thank you very much. And if you have any queries, feel free to email us at learning@deerwalk.edu.np. Thank you.